Okay, hello everyone. My name is Annisa Bunga Maharani, and then in this video, I'm going to deliver information to you guys about the new capital city in Indonesia, which is the IKN. I'm pretty much sure that almost everyone in Indonesia already heard about it. So, first of all, Indonesia is currently doing construction on its new capital city, which is Nusantara, or we all already know it as IKN. And then the Indonesian government itself had increased its infrastructural needs by USD 4,029.7 billion, which is a lot. A 20% increase from 2015 to 2019. Indonesia has several key market trends on its infrastructure. Among them include an increase in the value of civil construction and government infrastructural development plans. I'm sure it's going to sound complicated or, oh my God, there's a lot of confusing terms, difficult words that you guys are going to hear. But rest assured, don't worry, I'm going to explain it in the most easy way as I can. And with this huge infrastructure project, we all know that it provides huge opportunities for countries and private businesses to put investments, especially in the field of urban planning and also technology. So the idea of moving IKN to Palangkaraya was first proposed by our President Sukarno from the basic of strategic location and geographical efficiency. So the following president, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, also coordinated the proposal of capital city movement from Jakarta, which is finally realized by Indonesia's current president, Mr. Joko Widodo, back in 2019. Sources say that the capital city is currently in the process of finding investors from private companies. In addition to that, the bright side is that the amount of investors trying to invest the city have reached oversubscription, meaning that there's a lot of potential industries that investors would like to invest in. And one of them is technology. Up till this day, Minister of Investment Bahlil Lahadalia said that the country had already received around 299.5 trillion for the funding of the capital city. Wow, that's a lot, right? When building a capital city, it is extremely important to take a note that to also build the infrastructure and urban planning surrounding it, one of the plans of IKN is to become a smart city. With that comes big considerations and attention to details towards the implementation of the technology in the city. So there's a lot of considerations that we need to take in notes before we're building our new beloved capital city, which is the Nusantara or IKN. And then many experts and people have already debated about this topic regarding the plan to relocate the capital city, which was first initiated on 2015. So it's been 9 years ago. And the project of relocating the Nusantara capital city or IKN itself was finally realized when the seventh president or Joko Widodo took an action towards it. So ladies and gentlemen, everyone, once again, the relocation of IKN has also received serious attention by President Jokowi. There's a lot of news talking about it already right now, and as evidenced by concrete actions in the form of development allocations, making laws and regulations, and preparing to move the government sector to the economy. In an interview conducted by CNN Indonesia, the IKN Development, the IKN Development Task Force of the Ministry of PUPR stated that the percentage of IKN development unfortunately had reached 49.2% by the October 2023. So this means that this percentage is certainly considerable progress and has even touched half the development of the completion process. So yes, it already made a progress, but still not that much or not succeeding our target. However, on the other hand, this percentage doesn't necessarily reduce the debate about Indonesia's feasibility in moving the Indonesian capital city or IKN, which is scheduled to be carried out on August 17, 2024, aka next month. This is because it has been almost 60 years since Jakarta stood as the capital city of Indonesia based on the determination of Ir Soekarno through certain undang-undang, which is the number 10 undang-undang of 1964. More or less, there are a lot of dynamic that occur in the capital city of Jakarta, everyone. So considering that there's a lot of complexity of activities in Jakarta, from government, economy, to even education and concentration of occupation, which makes it difficult to realize the plan to move to IKN to another area. But on the other hand, the purpose of moving IKN itself also has an urgency that needs to be considered. Quoted from the data collection of the Ministry of Finance of the Republic in Indonesia, Jakarta as IKN is considered no longer habitable due to imbalance between the availability of territory and also the number of the people living on it. So approximately there's around 3 to 9% of Indonesia's population, or around 660 or 1% total of Indonesian populations in land area. With this instability, it is clear that the goal of IKN to encourage fast, efficient, and also inclusive economic growth will be disrupted. In addition, the Jakarta area is considered a vulnerable area because it often experiences flooding, which has caused the land surface to decline significantly in recent years. So given the many considerations on the urgency of relocating the national capital, aka Nusantara or IKN, the initiative to relocate the national capital to East Kalimantan province, namely Kartanegara Regency and also Penajam Pasir Utara, makes sense to continue this project. However, everyone, we must have considered this once again. The controversy arose again when the presidential candidates will compete with each other in the political election or contestation of the 2024 election, exchange ideas for the first time since December 12th back then. So interestingly, one of the presidential candidates strongly rejected to the proposal to relocate Indonesian capital city or IKN, which will likely hamper the relocation of IKN in the following year if he actually is candidate to become a president. Then I have a question. We all have a concern. Is this possible? Is it possible? Then how will the abandoned IKN development project able to be continued? Will it continue to be ignored, or will it continue to be developed for other purpose? The various precedents regarding the probability of the IKN project being discontinued raise several interesting points to be discussed. So the first is whether Indonesia is really ready to relocate the IKN despite so much preparation. So unfortunately, the answer is no. This is motivated by the diversity of the mindset of the Indonesian people, the lack of political education provided to the Indonesian citizen itself, and there are still so many factors or urgent matters that we need to talk about and need to be resolved by the government first, rather than to having to immediately move to the IKN. For example, the equalization or population transmigration, which has so far not been successful in several parts of Indonesia, one of which is in eastern Indonesia, namely Kalimantan, Sulawesi, or even Papua. Then, if the governments focus only to improve the economy by moving IKN with the hope that IKN can become a solid starting point for improving the Indonesian's economic state, then the government should have paid attention as well and think again how much expenses will be incurred to build the second Jakarta, because it takes so many times, so many effort to build only one Jakarta. How much income will be obtained in the next few years? Will it be beneficial or not? In addition, the root of the problem of the economy is actually the level of education, facilities, and also infrastructure. If the government wants to improve the quality of education, then equitable distribution of facilities and infrastructure is the main problem that needs to be solved by the government first. So instead of immediately jump by moving the IKN on the pretext that IKN can guarantee and increase the quality of the Indonesian economy for the better, if in the end it also becomes city-centric like Jakarta, then what kind of change does the government actually expect by moving the IKN without equalization? So everyone, for the final issue, the matters regarding the plan to move IKN is something that is interesting enough that we need to talk about together, to be discussed as well. And then especially when it is related to the ideas of the presidential candidates and how they will build Indonesia for the next 5 years into a developed and also better country and can prosper its people. So, in a brief summary, talking about the IKN issues is extremely important for the belonging of our country, its sustainability, and also how our country able to maintain its generation for the next few years. That's it for me. Thank you so much for listening until the end, and have a nice day, everyone.